Bro, and there's just nothing else that you can cut back on, boy. There's no more cutting back on Starbucks, coffees, subscriptions. It's nothing left. I'm out here managing and budgeting using the vending machine. I'm going days where I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna eat for lunch. I'm gonna wait till I get back home. Ain't nothing else left to cut out. It's crazy. I'm making the most money I probably didn't ever make. Ain't no probably. I didn't ever made. Yeah, I don't ever see it. It be gone. The bills be snatching it. I'm not even gonna say we not making enough money. Everything just too high. Ain't no way at 36 an hour, getting close to 40 an hour, you just barely making it. You just be having enough and maybe a couple hundred extra. That's crazy. What is going on?
I would be here to tell you about all the stupid things people said to me today from a hostess at a restaurant that's inside of a hotel and casino on Memorial Day weekend, but nothing happened because there was nobody there. Recession indicator, nobody's going out for Memorial Day anymore. We have a very gorge pool, nobody there. You could walk through the casino halls. It was sad. You could probably scream and it would echo. It was flop nation in there. Nobody's doing anything. My managers had it blocked out for like blackout weekend, like peak day. It's going to be so busy. Nobody
else feeling more depressed than normal lately? I'm just curious. Like just this like looming depression. And it's not like boohoo, lock yourself in a dark room depression, but you can feel something's off. My take is this. I just filled up my gas tank, and for $30, I got a day's worth of gas in my truck, essentially. And I'm realizing more and more of how fucked our economy is. I went through this last recession deal that we did in the early 2000s, and it fucking sucks. And this is all the signs of what it was. I mean, how many people out there right now have no credit card debt because you don't need to live on your credit cards? I make more money today than I did 5 years ago, by far. Yet I am tremendously broker than I was 5 years ago. If I would have made this money 5 years ago, holy shit, like life would be amazing. But it's like, it's not enough. And now all of a sudden you kind of like feel like a failure, and you start to get in your head of like, why am I constantly stressed? I mean, are you driving around with your check, your fuel light on, or are you giving up your health insurance because you're trying to cut corners somewhere just to get some more money and cash flow somewhere? I don't know, man. I will say this. I think it's going to get a lot worse, way worse than this before it ever gets better. I think you're going to see a lot of people struggle with addiction. I think you're going to see a lot of people struggle with mental health. Like, it's going to get fucking crazy. Kind of like it did back then. And I don't mean to be like some like sound the alarms or whatever bullshit, but I'm just like, I'm watching more and more people just using credit cards on shit and just not having money all of a sudden, and never slowed down the spending. And now all of a sudden it's like we didn't even slow down the spending and you're just broke. I don't know. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that this is just a little phase. I guess we'll find out. I just want to let you know, if you're struggling right now, you ain't alone.
All right, y'all. We just got some of the worst consumer numbers of all time, and we're still only in the early innings here. Credit card delinquency just came in at 13.1%, which is just under the all-time high of 13.7%. But the rate at which it's rising this time is the fastest rate ever, and it's still going up. And at the same time, we just got consumer sentiment numbers at all-time lows. These are the lowest levels we've ever seen in history, and I think this has been tracked since like 1957. So the consumer is in worse shape than ever. And I gotta say, this is a clear sign that the credit bubble's about to pop. And that's the main issue here, is that this is a bubble, okay? I explained before that the delinquency numbers and consumer sentiment numbers aren't a real accurate read of the state of the consumer economy. The numbers today are actually suppressed because of the way people are actually using credit these days. You know, they're passing it back and forth between different cards, and they're also using BNPL for this kind of stuff. And that's what I mean by a credit bubble. Like, you're just passing it back and forth and just pushing off the issue while the credit problem just rises and rises. The fact that delinquencies are nearing an all-time high, even with this scheme that we have going on, this credit card cheat code that we have going on here, that's a clear sign that this bubble's about to pop. And the fact that we now have the lowest levels of consumer confidence shows that the consumers are seeing that they're not going to be able to pay this off. And the reason why this is a major problem is because we're not at the peak here. Like, we're still in the first innings of this inflation issue. We're only seeing really the effects of gas right now. We're only really seeing gas, and right now it's still pretty manipulated, so it's not even at the peak yet. Not to mention the strait's still closed, so that's obviously an issue. But we haven't seen the food inflation yet. This is something that I've been saying for a while. We haven't even seen the food inflation. The only real inflation we've seen from food is because of diesel. It's not because of the fertilizer shortage. When the next harvest comes, that's when we actually see those numbers kick in. When there's an actual food shortage, that's the real food inflation there. And by that time, I assume the manipulation's gonna wear off, like they're not gonna be able to hold it up forever. And if we're already seeing all-time lows on consumer confidence and all-time highs in delinquencies, what's gonna happen when the prices really start going there? And this is why I say that the economy's like a house of cards right now, or like a set of dominoes. There's like 5 bubbles in play, and we're just waiting to see which is the one that actually topples everything over. And I'll make another video about the new deal that's going through right now, but like, so far, if you've seen anything on it, like it's pretty clear that Iran is staying strong on the fact that they want control of the Strait, and they want reparations. They're staying strong on all of their points. So either it's a bad deal for us, or there's no deal. And like I said from the start, even if the Strait was opened under perfect conditions, we would still have to eat that fertilizer disruption, okay? We would still have to eat those food prices. But there's no deal. Or it's either no deal or a bad deal. So either way, like it's a
I think what's most sad about what's going on with their current economy is that I see people that say stuff like, oh, I cut out this, I cut out that, I cut out this, and I still don't have enough money to spend on what I need to spend it on. Like, you will talk to people and they will only spend money on what is necessary, and they still don't have enough money to spend on even that. Because the most regular things, like things that you shouldn't even think about spending money on, cost a bunch of money now. You go to the grocery store now, you try to get like, what, 6 to 8 items, and you're spending at least $100. You got a car that was good on gas, it was known for that. Now, because of gas prices, you go there, your tank costs $70 to fill up. You try to find cheaper housing, and you're still paying about 4 figures plus just for that, and that's rent alone. Try to get a house now, listen to all the advice that people told you before, like, oh, put 20% down. But now when houses cost $500,000, you gotta have $100K on you. You need a car. You either get a used car for a new car price, or you get a new car and pay $700 a month for a car payment. And all you keep hearing from people, especially people that are from the older generations, is, oh, you just need to budget more, you need to budget more. No, you can't budget your way out of a bad economy.
Of America, people don't have enough money and they're not buying as many groceries. That's according to new research showing that 61% of Americans have started buying fewer groceries because they don't have enough money to afford food. 61% of people, not 30%, not even 50%, 61% of Americans have started reducing the amount of food they're purchasing and reducing the amount of meals they eat because they simply cannot afford the food. Now, this is in the most economically prosperous nation in the world. But while our people are suffering their asses off, the stock market continues to grow to record numbers. Once again, like I've said before, this shows the extreme wealth gap that's growing here in the United States. And no matter how many hours you work, it's starting to become almost impossible. Around 65% of people or more are living paycheck to paycheck currently. And about 70% of you don't have $500 or $600 in a savings or checking account for an emergency. Now, this is becoming an absolute failure here in our economic system, benefiting only the very wealthy investment class, while the entire rest of the nation incrementally suffers more and more. Something needs to be done with affordability here. This is fucking ridiculous for the #1 economy in the world. It doesn't matter if you're the #1 economy in the world if 99% of it goes to only 1% of the people.
Fuck struggling. Everything is a fucking struggle. Every goddamn thing is a fucking struggle. You gotta pay this motherfucker this amount of money. I gotta pay that motherfucker this amount of money. You gotta do this. Then you gotta worry about getting cancer and fucking dying prematurely. And then you gotta worry about your parents fucking dying. And then you have kids. And then them motherfuckers might die before you. And then you gotta worry about your car falling out your fucking ass. And then you gotta worry about losing your apartment or your fucking mortgage because some fucking piece of shit and a higher power is like, yeah, fuck them over. You got everything is a fucking struggle. And I'm tired of that shit. Right? I'm tired of that shit. And then the only thing that actually makes sense to try to ease the fucking pain of struggling is to get a bunch of fucking money. But the shit you gotta do to get a bunch of fucking money is extraordinarily unethical. You gotta fuck over so many people. And then you realize, well, goddamn, when I start fucking people over, I prosper. You want to know why? Because the way shit is ran, the way shit is put together is by people who routinely fuck folks over. If I fuck you over, if I do all this fucked up shit and I consistently win and I build a system to make people want to do the same thing, would you not win when you start participating? Huh? So if you ever wondered, why does it seem like all the fucked up people are winning and the people who are actually good get fucked over? That's why. But when I talk like this, oh my God, you're fucking going off the deep end, bro. I don't understand you. This is why. This is why. It's all a fucking scam. All of it. Even these fucking eggs I'm scrambling. I don't even know if these shits came from a chicken. They probably came from a punk motherfucker named Derek in Milwaukee. I ain't asked for none of this shit. I didn't ask for any of this shit. What are you gonna do?
So my rent is close to $2,000. Food cost is going up. I just filled up my gas tank. It was like $48. My car payment's close to $500. My insurance is between 1 and 2. My light bill's about 2 something. My internet's 100 and something. My phone bill's about close to 100. But yet, $45,000 is too much for a single person in income. Are you kidding me? Like, at this point, I just want to live in my car for like 6 months and save money. Is anybody else struggling? Like, damn, Craig, it's not that I ain't got no money. It's not that I ain't got no money. Everything's so fucking expensive. Like we have to pay to live. Not even our water's free. Unless you want to drink sink water. Ain't nobody telling if that shit's clean. It's not clean. It's not purified.
I need to know if anyone else is feeling this way, because I've been walking around with this weird feeling lately that I can't quite put my finger on. It feels like we're all just pretending to be okay. Not fake smiling exactly, not everybody walking around acting happy. I don't mean that. It's deeper than that, I guess. It feels like we're all just functioning. We're just functioning. We wake up, we check our phones, we go to work, we pay bills, we scroll, we eat something, we scroll some more, we watch something, we scroll some more, we sleep, rinse and repeat. And we're doing all the motions, right, of life, while I think secretly looking around at each other thinking, are we okay? Are we okay? Something feels off. And I don't know if this is just in America where we have an absolute imbecile as president of the United States. I don't know if people everywhere feel this or if this is just a weird moment in our society. But it feels like there's this giant emotional, almost like a fog just hanging over everything. People still laugh. People are still going on vacations. People are still posting their pictures. People are still going out to dinner. Life is still happening, obviously. But I think that underneath all of it, I don't know, I keep getting this feeling that a lot of us are carrying around this quiet exhaustion. Like we're waiting for something to happen and it's not something good. Bracing for something. Or grieving something we can't even name. Because look around. I mean, look around. The world feels more complicated than ever before, I think, at least in my 55 years. There's 1,000 opinions, 1,000 crises, 1,000 things demanding our attention every hour of every day. Politics never sleeps. The news cycle never sleeps. I mean, when I was a kid, the TV stations went off the air at like midnight or 2 a.m. or whatever it was. I mean, the outrage machine certainly doesn't sleep. Our phones never sleep. We never sleep. And meanwhile, I think a lot of people are secretly longing for something ridiculously simple. Not bigger houses, not more followers, not another app, not more productivity hacks. I think people want to just wake up and feel safe. I think people want to sit on a porch and feel safe, feel peace. Excuse me. I think people want to laugh with friends. I think people want to feel connected to their kids, if they have them, to their spouses, if they're married, to themselves, ultimately. We want to feel connection, even to ourselves, to life. But instead, it feels like we're all standing on a moving walkway, like at the airport, like a moving walkway that just keeps speeding up. And none of us can remember ever getting on it. We don't even know where it's going. And I think the scary thing, the terrifying thing is we keep being told that this is progress, right? Just keep moving. Just keep moving, keep consuming, keep grinding, keep hustling, keep pushing, keep adapting. Be a good little boy, be a good little girl. But what if a lot of us are tired because we're trying to force ourselves into lives that don't even feel natural anymore? Could it be that? I think it could be that. What if the life we're striving for and the life we're being pushed towards are on two completely different tracks? Two totally different trains. Because happiness feels strange lately. And I'm a very happy person. I'm a very positive person, but it feels strange lately. Contentment feels slippery. Peace feels like something we visit instead of something we live in. Like we can visit peace once in a while, but we're not able to live it every day. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is just me. Maybe it is just me, but I have this feeling that a lot of us are scared. A lot of us are scared. Not panic scared, like, oh no, there's a monster around the corner, but quiet scared. Future scared. What happens next kind of scared. What kind of world are we building? What kind of a world are we building kind of scared, you know what I mean? What if everything keeps getting harder kind of scared? And I think maybe the strangest part is that we rarely talk about it. And I'm sorry I'm going on for so long. We just keep going. We keep smiling. We keep functioning. We keep pretending everything is normal. I don't remember the last time things felt normal. Maybe the reason so many of us are feeling alone is because we're all having the same conversation silently. Maybe millions of us are lying in bed at night thinking, I don't know exactly what's wrong. You ever do that? Like I stay up anxious some nights, just like, I don't know exactly what's wrong, but something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. Something feels off. Tell me I'm not the only one.
Thank you for staying tuned. We appreciate every one of you for being part of this our community. Now let's get back into today's analysis. Something that many American once ignored is suddenly impossible to avoid. Across the country, people are having conversations they may not been able comfortable having before. Families are talking about rising costs, job, housing, politics, and in the direction of the country. And this time, the conversation is not limited to politicians or television commentators. It is happening in home, workplace, and online, schools, name it anywhere. What makes this moment interesting is that America don't all see the situation the same way. Some believe the country needs major changes. Others think the problem are temporary and that the economy will eventually recover. Do not forget that America is in a war with Iran, but underneath all the disagreement is one common feeling. People want to know what happened next. When ordinary citizens begin questioning long-held assumptions, demanding answers, and paying closer attention to what is happening around them, the political conversation can change very quickly. America is not just talking anymore. America is paying attention. And the decision made during this period could shape the country's future for years to come. If you enjoyed this commentary, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for more powerful stories about America and the world in general. Thank you. See you in the next one.